Alright guys, welcome to video number 1, and well, it's Manny with mixed multiple choice number 33. I'm guessing this question's inferential. Guessing, JK. Obviously it's inferential, it involves chi-square distributions and p-values, and determining whether or not evidence supports or denies data. Great. As you can see, I clearly know what I'm talking about. 10 out of 10. Would recommend myself to someone else. Okay, so the question states, a candy manufacturer advertised that their fruit-flavored sweets have hard sugar shells in 5 colors with the following distributions: 25% cherry red, 15% vibrant orange, 15% daffodil yellow, 20% emerald green, and 25% royal purple. A random sample of 200 sweets yielded, and gives you what the observed values was below. Clearly, I don't know how to write an 8. And I also don't know how to write a 20, 10 out of 10. Sigh. So I went out and wrote out what they said was expected, or what they claimed, and then I wrote out what was observed, and then I wrote out the question. So moving on. So the first thing I did was I took out my TI-84, and I went to stat, edit, I went to list 1, and then for list 1 I put my observed. So it would be 41, 38, 32, 51, 38. And then I went to 0.25, 0.15, 0.15, 0.2, and then 0.25. Now this isn't the way that the card tells you you're supposed to do it, but this is the way I did it, and then I'll show you how the card says to do it in the first place. So the first thing I did is I went to stat, I went to tests, I went to chi-squared test. No, I didn't. My bad. 10 out of 10. So you put your observed as L1 and your expected as L2. Remember, observed would be the 41, expected would be the percentages. So our degrees of freedom would be 4 because we have 5 categories. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So instead of pushing calculate, I pushed draw. And you just sort of let it draw out your T distribution. Clear this out. And it gives you this. Or at least it should. Chi-squared goodness of fit. God. See, this is why I have problems, guys. This is why I have problems. Anyways, draw, nearing my end. I'm gonna wait for this, and then you look for the value at which this was. Y will tell you the probability of it happening. So it said that your chi-squared value was 9.792. I would roughly just get really close to it, 9.71. So that's roughly a 0.02, right? So it's roughly 0.02. That's 0.02 is between 0.05 and it's also between 0.01, which is reasonable evidence to reject the null and accept the alternate. So looks like that's one of the answer choices as well, and that would be C. Now the way the card goes about doing it is a chi-squared CDF, which I did not know existed, which is great because now I do. So you do a chi-squared CDF, same location as the rest of the other CDFs. It should be number 7 on a TI-84, and then it'll just ask you, or at least it should, which is, you go to second VARs or distribution, chi-squared CDF, you type in your lower, and you would type in you would type in your chi-squared, which is 9.792, and then some freakishly large number, degrees of freedom, 4, pastes. And it should spit out the value. It was close enough. So it gives you roughly 0.0441. is less than 0.05, but is still greater than 0.01. So therefore, it's still reasonable evidence to reject. So the answer choice would end up being C. Yes, comma, 0.01 is less than P, which is less than 0.05, indicating evidence of a difference. Flip over the card. The answer is C. Sweet.